All right, you guys. So we have got a ice machine today. We are changing a hot gas valve, filter dryer, and strainer. We have a hot gas valve that is intermittently opening is what the issue is with this. So this is under a contract with Easy Ice. So we talked with Easy Ice and they said that they wanted to just go ahead. They wanted to replace the hot gas valve because it is getting stuck open and it is going off on a high evap temp alarm. And the only way to reset that alarm is if you go into the board and actually press it to reset it. So of course customer doesn't know how to do that, so they just hear it beeping and it's not running. Even if you turn recycle power, it still will go off on that beep, that high evap temp alarm beep. So so then we ended up diagnosing a bad hot gas valve. So now we're here doing that change out. So we're gonna get started with this. I've already pulled the ice machine out and I have also emptied out all the ice out of the bin. That way our drain isn't leaking a ton of water. So as you can see here, we have our ice machine here. It was in that little slit right there, but I ended up pulling it out. This is why we leave some extra slack in the water line so that we can do so. Alright, so we will take off this back cover here, and that way we can see our hot gas valve and everything. Our hot gas valve is right here, and then we have our filter dryer, which is down there, that we need to replace. So we'll get started on that. Drill. Off like so. Hot gas valve is in a pretty difficult position. There's a lot of piping in here and not a whole lot of room. So we're gonna have to try to do what we can to braze all this in. So let's just get all of our mounting off for our solenoid magnet, for our actual solenoid coil, I should say. We have a brand new solenoid coil as well that is getting replaced. Just like so. Okay. Alright, that is the old solenoid coil off. Okay, this unit holds 13 ounces of 404. So we will go ahead. Our filter dryer is right here. as you can see. All right. So we have our filter dryer, we have our solenoid coil, we have our hot gas valve, and then we have our strainer. Now for our strainer, where is that at? Let's see. Right here. So our strainer is here right before our hot gas valve. So we will have to go ahead and replace that as well.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, so system is now empty. We got nitrogen hooked up. We are going to put it on the braze function. I have it hooked up on the low side. I'm going to verify that nitro is indeed coming out through the other side. I will go ahead and purge it to make sure there's no refrigerant left in the system, which there is not. Now I'm putting on a braze section. I am getting it all the way through, so we should be good to go ahead and start brazing. First I will prep my filter dryer, make sure there's nothing that's going to possibly burn while I'm unsweating these items. All right, looks like we have some insulation here that may be a little too close. We'll go ahead and cut that back a bit. There we go. Insulation is cut back. We'll make sure that there are no wires that may possibly get in the way. Okay, we do have a lot of insulation here. We will probably have to get that covered with a wet rag. All right, we have a zip tie here on our filter dryer that we will need to remove. Let's cut that. Go.
back in 5-10 minutes.
See if we can get this plastic piece off here so that we do not burn it. There we go. So we are going to have to unsweat this, so if that was there, we run the high possibility of burning it. We do not want that. This does suck because this does have an insulation. Even though it is protected by metal, we have plastic here that we're going to have to try to watch out for as best as we can. Don't doubt that we are going to end up scorching a little bit of it, just because everything is so compact in here. It's completely normal for that to happen in some of these situations when they make these systems so tight. There's just some things that you cannot avoid. Of course, we're going to try our best to make sure we can't do that. We protect as much of the system as we can. But yeah. Alright, we'll get our torches ready because it looks like we are about ready to unsweat. Alright. Torches on. Okay, looks like we're a little low on acetylene. We'll wait until that is completely empty before we go ahead and change that out. Oxygen, we are about full on. It is a brand new tank. All right, we have a 0 tip on. Because we are dealing with very small pipe. Okay, oh, let us get our rags. Our bucket of water. We will go ahead and throw a piece here to try and protect our compressor and also those rubber feet that have a very high chance of burning as soon as flame comes to it in contact with it. Just like so. All right. And then we will throw portion of our rag here to protect our insulation. Just like so. Alright, that looks good. We'll go ahead and throw our nitro on, make sure we're flowing, which we are. Grab our channel locks, and we will start with the filter dryer. Alright, sorry about that, you guys. Looks like as soon as I started to braze, my GoPro battery decided to go off. So we got a new battery in it, but I stopped after that one braze joint, so we do have this filter dryer piece right here disconnected. So that is all good. So now we will just go ahead and continue. We'll throw our nitro back on. Okay, so we have our channel locks, and we'll go ahead and continue. Alright, we'll go ahead and pull from the end of the filter dryer and just pull out. Like so. And we'll dunk that in the water. And then we'll go ahead and start with our hot gas valve. We'll go ahead and turn our heat down just a tad. And with this hot gas valve, I want to do that bottom port first. And then that way I can pull up, and then I can pull this hot gas valve away from the strainer. So that's how we're going to attempt this at the moment. So we'll go ahead and get the torch in, just like so. Grab our hot gas valve. Let it heat up first. And then once we think it is hot enough, we will start slightly pulling. There we go. And in and out it goes. We'll go ahead and start right on our strainer. And we'll pull the hot gas valve away from the strainer. We want to make sure it is hot enough, that way we are not breaking any pipe. We'll go ahead and throw this hot gas valve in the water, pull it down. Okay. Like so, and then we'll get the strainer out. Okay, start here. Same thing, make sure you get it hot enough. You don't want to start pulling too hard and you end up breaking the pipe. And you're gonna have a lot more work on your hands. A little bit of flame out. Looks like we had some stuff stuck in that strainer, it appears. That's what can happen. So you gotta be careful. You gotta know what to do. So, but it wasn't too bad. Okay. All right, and those are all three of our pieces unsweat out. So we will go ahead and take our rag now. Let's cool down all of our pieces. All of our pipe connected to the system. Take this rag. Re-wet it. sure everything is cooled down. Just like so. Watch out for the walls of the ice machine as well, because that may also be extremely hot. Okay. All right, we appeared to be all the way cooled down. Okay, so now we will grab our new pieces. Here we have our hot gas valve right here, just so you can compare old to new, just like so. We'll take the caps off of this. And we will go ahead and place it in place. Slides right on. All right, nice and smooth. We love when our pieces like to go in nice and easy. We don't have to do a ton of fidgeting. All right. And as you can see, we have some arrows right here pointing towards flow. So we will make sure that it's pointing towards our hot gas valve. All right, place it in place just like so. Go ahead and fold our strainer into it. There we go, and it just clicks in. There we go. As you can see, new strainer and hot gas valve in place. Pretty easy there. So, and then now, what I would like to do is let us get our filter dryer out. Okay. All right, go, and here we have our filter dryer. So we have direction of flow. Of course, we're going to be pointing away from our condenser coil. Oh, we still have nitro flowing. Let me turn that off. All right, just like so. Yep, I think that's correct. Just as such. Just as such. So what I'm actually going to do for this filter dryer is I'm going to put on our wet rag prior. That way we have it surrounding all the way, because if I put it in first, and it's going to be difficult to try to get all this covered here. So let's go ahead and apply our wet rag. Just get a little bit of water on our fingers. Kind of mix it in. There we go. Just like so. I will make sure not to cover our arrow so that I know which way it goes, of course. We have to make it kind of thin, that way it will fit without all of it just coming off right away. Okay. Sure we're not covering our arrow. just like so. Right. Okay, let's get this in place. So that will slide on there, just like so. We'll come in here, do this side, just like so. All right, and we will heat that up a little bit and push it in. Okay. Because that can get pushed in a little more. But as that sits there, we will put some wet rag block on our hot gas valve to protect it. You want to make sure you protect all your mechanical components as you're brazing. You never know, even if you can, let's say, do it quickly, you never know what might be going wrong. And you have that one spot that you just can't seem to get sometimes, because every technician has always had that one spot. It looks like our filter dryer just popped out. I'll have to place that back in. So make sure all this wet rag is compact up against the hot gas valve. We should be good with that. Let's do our strainer. Once we do our strainer, we'll pop that filter dryer back in place. All right. There we go. Strainer is good now. Pop our pipe back in here. And then we will use our channel locks. We'll start melting some of that solder that's there, and then we'll push it in. Push the pipe in a little more for that filter dryer. All right. But just so I can show you guys, so we have filter dryer here, one weld. This is the second weld. We will push that pipe in so that everything's nice and snug. We have our strainer here, fully covered in the wet rag. We have one weld there, one weld here, connected to our hot gas valve, fully covered in our wet rag. And then we have one weld right down there that we have to do. That one's going to be a little bit of a pain for us, but you know, we're gonna try our best. It is quite unfortunate. They like making these units very compact, but we've got to do what we've got to do. All right. So we'll start with our filter dryer first, and then move on to our hot gas valve and strainer. So let's get our rod here. It's a pretty small piece, but we don't need very long. We'll grab another piece. If I have any more shorter pieces, do. All right, we have a semi-long one here. So we will go ahead and use these three pieces. We'll use the short one for the filter dryer, and then we'll switch to the long one when we do that hot gas valve. So down the machine. Okay. Go. Sparker. almost forgot. Let's shut this off. Our rags. We gotta make sure we protect the insulation and everything. So, one for our compressor here. Oh, that pipe popped out again. It wants to be really annoying today. Oh, what we got there? And then another rag. For our compressor, or for our insulation, I should say. Not our compressor. Just like so. Just like so. There we go. All right, and we are fully protected. Now we are ready to braze. Okay, sparker. Channel locks. Spike in. Make sure we're brazing nitro. We are now. Leave that there like that for a second so it can harden, and then we can go ahead and do our other end of our filter dryer. This one is going to be pretty tight. Slip that in a little bit more, just like so. That one should be good. We'll go ahead and move over to this piece. I have a slight feeling I ended up sealing that one with just what was there. And it looks like I did. I'm gonna add a little bit just in case. I just don't want it to I don't want it to pop out at me. It might. Add a little bit there. Oh, there it goes. Popped out. I mean, it's exactly what I did not want to happen. Oh, let's see if we can get it to attach with just what is on there. Looks like it's sealed. We're gonna leave that and then we're just gonna nitrogen test it. Right there. Like so. Okay. And then we will move on to, we will go ahead and do the harder portion of our hot gas valve first. Okay, let's add a little bit of a bend. We'll check that with the mirror. We'll go ahead and move on to our strainer. Next portion of our strainer, there is quite a bit of solder left over on it. We'll move my light so I don't burn it or get it extremely hot since it's metal. There's quite a bit of solder on this pipe already. A little bit more of a dab on top. All right, that is all pieces brazed in. We will go ahead and check it with a mirror, ensure all of our welds are good. Okay, let's cool it down with the rag first. Go ahead and purge some nitro through it as well. All right, go ahead and turn that off. Okay. Difficult part is trying to cool down that bottom section of the hot gas valve. All right. Okay, we already have nitro hooked up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and flow nitro through it and test it. Nitrogen test this system. And then we'll still go around and check with our mirror. So we got both sides open. Okay. We'll go ahead and go to 100 psi, and then we'll go ahead and go around and check our welds. And if we look good, we'll go up to about 150. All right. Put our torch off to the side for now. Alright. Okay. Weld appears good on top and bottom and side. Weld appears good top, bottom, side. For our filter dryer, strainer looks good all the way around. Other side of our strainer, the outlet looks good all the way around. And then the bottom of our hot gas valve. We look like we are sealed. Okay, so we will go ahead and charge up to, with nitro, up to 150 psi. Just like so. Okay. Give it a little bit of a tap. Just like so. Alright, so we are at 150 psi. We will set our timer for, we'll just put on a timer, and then we'll come back in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll start cleaning up some of this stuff. And then I'm probably going to grab a magnet. So we'll grab a solenoid magnet for that gas valve to ensure that it is open while we are doing a vacuum. So I'm gonna go do that now, and then see you guys in about 15 minutes. All right, we have had it on a nitrogen test for about 20 minutes now, and we are still at 150 psi on both sides. We haven't leaked anything at all. So this is looking like the nitro's good. Looks like all of our leaks are good. I'm gonna use this nitro to kind of blow off this this condenser coil a little bit. It's not dirty, it just has a little bit of dust on it, but you know. We're gonna release nitro anyway, might as well clean the coil with it a little bit. No harm in that. Okay, we'll go ahead and plug this in, back in, just like so. Let's see if we can get this piece back in. Yep, all right. We've got the solenoid is all in, plugged in, new solenoid coil. I do have a magnet on top of the solenoid hot gas valve. All right, just in order to make sure we're getting a vacuum throughout the whole entire system. Put our gauges away for now. Next time we use them is when we charge up the unit. And now we will go ahead and hook the system up on a vacuum. Luckily, we do have an outlet just right here, so we do not need an extension cord of any sorts. Battery is dead for my micro gauge. I'm gonna have to get another battery. Okay, and I will go ahead and grab a battery and micron gauge. Alright, micron gauge is on tight, gas ballast open, and we are coming on. Open our valve. Okay, we're at 5,000, 3,000, 2,500. Closing our gas ballast now. Gas ballast is now closed. And we are already under 1,000 within seconds. Well, we're coming back down. I think we may have soaked up some moisture somewhere. That was a weird little pop, but we're coming down. I have the gas vacuum off, and we're at 600 microns. Let me go ahead and close these valves. We're at 520 microns. Let's turn the pump on. Let's see. Let's keep going. That was a little odd. Everything's still tight. Yep. Go ahead and move these valves open and close to make sure there's no air in between them. Alright. We'll set a timer for the vacuum. I like to have my vacuums run for at least 30 minutes to an hour. We'll close it down for a second just to see how the microns change. It doesn't appear that they are. We're staying at 320. So I'll just keep on going. Alright. Well, I will check back in about 30 minutes to an hour. And we're gonna go ahead and grab some lunch. So I will see you guys then. Alright, so we are finished with the vacuum. I just had it on a decay test. I just took the hoses off. Both sides for the hoses are closed. And our microns are reading 240. We have been on a decay test for about 10 minutes now. And I believe we were at 220. So it's only went up 20 microns and it's been staying at 240 for about 5 minutes, I'd say. So looks like we do have a good vacuum. So I'll go ahead, put my vacuum pump off to the side, and then we will go ahead and charge the system up. So let's see here. our gauges. This system needs to be charged with 13.4 ounces of 404. So we got our tank of 404 here. Go ahead and open this tank up. Flip it upside down. So that way we're charging it with nothing but liquid. We'll go ahead and tear that. Make sure we're at 0, which we are. Then we will go ahead and purge our hoses. Open our valves. We will close our micron gauge port. And we will go ahead and just take our micron gauge off. Okay. Alright. Then we will go ahead and purge our hoses with the high side, just like so. And then we will do it at the low. Just like so. And then we'll just do it at our yellow hose, just to ensure we have no air in our hoses. So that was 4 ounces right there that we just took in to get into our gauges. We are also going to zero that out. That way we know exactly how much is going into the system. We are not accounting for what is in our gauges whatsoever. And then we will go ahead, I will close both of these. I will open my high side and I will charge through my high side first. Okay, 13.4 ounces. We're at 12.75. We'll go a little bit more. Alright, that is about 14 ounces. So about 0.6, so we're floating around. So we're at 14.5 at the moment. It looks like we have our hose touching. 14.5. That should be fine. We shouldn't have any issues with an extra ounce in our system. We'll go ahead and close our gauges off. Close all these ports. Okay. Put our gauges off to the side, and we will go ahead and put our cores in place. We're putting new Schrader cores. We will not be using the old ones. Doesn't completely feel like that core went all the way in for some reason. Nope, it did. Okay.
Hey Siri, 12 ounce
That core is in properly. Right. Now our low side. Okay. Alright, now we have both cores in. And we will go ahead and hook up our probes.
Hey Siri, 32 ounce in grams.
We'll make sure our gauges are zeroed out. Okay. Go to our probe manager. Both gauges are out, as you can see. I set reading 1.6, 2.4. So we'll zero both of these out. Okay. And we'll go ahead and hook them up. High side on the high. High side on the low. Alright. There we go. Get our tank out of our way. Alright. Take our solenoid magnet off. Go ahead and place a new magnet on top. Alright, just like so. And then we will screw it in place. Nope. Actually, alright. So alright, solenoid is in place. Right. Let's see. So I'm not going to see operating pressures for this because I can't put this back panel on, and I would have to move this ice machine out back in place because of that drain, and then water will be dripping all over the place. So, but we have the correct amount of charge in it, so we'll make sure all operations are working properly on the ice machine. So we'll go ahead and cap these off. We'll go ahead and tighten them on with our wrench. Then we'll go and throw our back panel back on. Alright, and we are ready to put this machine back in place. We will leave the machine like that. Okay. Alright, we'll go ahead and plug in the machine. It should already be in ice. So after a delay, it should go into a harvest first thing. We'll go ahead and start putting some of my stuff back. Alright, that's our machine cooking the harvest. And then after it starts going into freeze cycle, we will time the batch. And then we will time the harvest cycle. And make sure our valves is opening and our hot gas valve is opening and the ice falls off the plate properly. Alright, our machine is in ice mode, our fan is spinning, compressor is running, water is running over the plate. As you can see here, you can hear water flowing. So we will time this batch and see what the cycle is at the moment. In the meantime, I'll put all my tools away in my vacuum while that thing is running. Alright, ice machine just clicked into a harvest. Freeze cycle just finished. It looks like it was a 24-minute, 55-second freeze. Ice thickness looks good. It's dropping pretty consistently. We're timing this harvest cycle as well. It does look like our harvest valve is opening, otherwise our ice would not be falling off the plate at the moment. So harvest valve is operating properly. While that continues to drop ice, I'm going to put the top panel back in place. So there's one screw that goes on the back. All right. And then there is a drain line below. Just like so. Alright, harvest cycle just kicked out. Harvest time was 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So both harvest and freeze cycles look like they're operating properly. So that should be good. We're gonna pack up our stuff and this ice machine is working properly. Alright guys, so all good with that. So ice machine, hot gas valve, we were having an intermittent issue with it. So basically every about 6 months with this ice machine, it would go off on that evap 1 beep, the high evap temp. We'd have to come out. By the time we got out here, because this is out in Reno and we're based of course in Sacramento, as soon as we get out here, the ice machine would have already settled down. The customer had it unplugged, and then the temp alarm would disappear. We'd reset it, and then we'd find no issues, because basically that hot gas valve, whatever was stuck with it, ended up getting force shut or resetting when we got out here, and then it'd start working again. So it was really hard to diagnose. But we got that hot gas valve in nice and quick. The charge is all good, ice machine's all good, time's good, our freeze batch is good, our harvest cycle is good, our ice thickness is good, everything's working properly. But sometimes you're gonna have those calls where, you know, you got an issue that's only happening once every 6 months, or maybe even once every year, and you just gotta try to figure out how to get around that and exactly what part is the most likely cause for what exactly is happening. But that's it for this one, guys. If you guys learned anything, you guys have anything to say, if you guys have any other ideas of what how you would have diagnosed this unit or anything like that, or how you would have installed a new gas valve, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. But other than that, see y'all.